Hi guys, welcome to the shop. Um, I've been watching my videos and the it's starting to sound like I'm getting farther and farther away from the phone. So I'm gonna try and wear the mic. I never had a problem with the phone picking up volume as long as I was holding it like this. So I don't know. I'll just try and run the mic and see if it helps. Well, that's what we got so far last night. Um, Man, that door opens nice. And then I'm watching videos with the fans going, so maybe that's just my hearing. But I put a tack weld across there. What I'm trying to do is tack weld it together, but not burn through into the back panel. Because I want to take that whole thing out when I get done. So nothing's cleaned up underneath, so hopefully that'll help. Um, Next piece. Oh, let's see. Oh, trying to keep the light in here. Figure out what I'm looking at. She's not quite back against this, but she's flat there. I think what I'm going to do is take this one and come back farther and try and work this so it's flush, and take this clamp and come up higher and try and get that back where it should be, and then build. Oh, it's hard to frickin' do this. Basically build the triangle that goes from the top of this down to here. Because I think once I get from the top of that panel down into here, that the rest of this is just basically a compound curve panel. Which my roller is a 12-inch roller, so I'm going to have to build 12 inches and see where I'm at, because that's the biggest I can roll. I figured out on the outside panels, if you run it through the roller one way and then run it through the other way, it'll do a compound curve, because it has memory in it. If you gotta do, that's how I did these panels. This curve is more than this curve, so I'm pretty sure I ran it through this way, because that's less of a curve. Then I ran it through this way, and that gave me a nice hump plus a curve. That's how I built all this back in. That panel looks like it's about the same going both ways, so figure it out. Try and come across. That way the whole hump is built. Cut that piece and then cut one for the other side and kind of shape it the way it needs to go. It's too bad I don't have anything. Well, there's a little bit here to clamp to, but nothing with that hump. That old hump is gone. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, let me see about moving them clamps, see if I can't get that all tight and right. What's nice is when you put some welds in, it relaxes the metal and you give it a little tap tap, it kind of flattens it all out. So being able to clamp it really helps. So not really sure what I'm going to do on the other side since I can't clamp it to the car. I can clamp some of it, but I don't know. Let me move them clamps, see what I can come up with. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty. I was able to get this piece come back around, but oh, there's literally nothing left to clamp to. Because if you try and clamp it, that whole panel comes over. So I am almost sure that I got it close for that next patch. Next patch should come. Man, it's hard to see with that in the way. It should come over into right about here. Once I start tacking it, I should be able to tap that down back. It needs to go back just a little bit. So let me get a beer box and try and make a pattern. And of course, I'll make two of them. Hopefully it works on the other side too. So let me see what I can do. Lisa's always said, Natty Light should sponsor my videos. Cheers, guys. Anyways, let me get to making the pattern. Okay. I'm having trouble finding that top line, but I had no problem getting that bottom line. So that's the bottom. So I'm not going to worry about that line. I'm just going to cut two pieces. Well, can I cut two pieces? I'm going to cut two pieces. I should be able to put it on backwards and have it be pretty close. And then with this up here, I'll have extra metal. And then try and make this a straight line. That's just the way I cut the box. But I got that bottom line. So I'm going to chop this out of the box and then make two pieces and see where I get. Alrighty. I think I can work with that. Bigger than I need, but that could be pretty freaking close. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Well, I'm not rich or famous, so I am Tetrising this freaking piece of metal as much as I can. So, that top corner was bent, so it would quit digging into my styrofoam. But the pattern is cardboard, so it flexes. So that's what I'm going to cut it out of. I don't know how many times I've watched a show and They have like a 12 by 12 piece of freaking metal and something like that. They'll cut it right out of the middle of it. I'm like yelling at my screen. It's like, why did you just chop that all up? It could be used someplace else. So I'm going to cut that one out, and then I'll find another spot, and I'll chop another one. Anyways, that's just my rant. Why go into a big chunk of metal to cut a little patch out when you can just find a corner and, yeah, I lose a little bit, but honestly, I keep those little bits because I can use them for filler someplace. Anyways, okay, there's that piece. I put in the vise a couple different directions, flattened it out a little bit, but she's already concave. That's almost the curve we need for the passenger side, so I think I'm gonna save that for the passenger side. And got me a new one for the driver's side. So yeah, let me see what I get. Alright guys. I told you I cut it longer than I needed because it's got kind of wrapped around the top corner by that hole right. Oh, the front side of that has to kind of curve around. I did cut the bottom right along so it fit. So now I just gotta start. That's in a little bit, so start tacking along the bottom and trying to make that lip go back a little more. And then start rolling it around and cutting it along that edge. But it's almost 10 o'clock. I was up to almost midnight last night. So I do a video every day, so I'm sorry it's not spectacular. But that's what I got done today. I've gotten the other one for that side. Yeah, that's the bottom piece. That's that piece. And that piece needs to get folded along that crease so that it comes over. That's the stuff to build the other side. So yeah, not a spectacular night, but progress. That should take care of the hump. Hopefully the rest of it's just like a panel. So anyways, I haven't seen Bonbon yet tonight. If she shows up, I might throw a clip in here of her. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I listened to some of my videos trying to see where I was at, how I was doing, and I'm not sure if the microphone does any better. It might be my hearing going out. Lisa says I'm deaf, so let me know. You like it with the microphone, or do you like it just talking into the camera when I'm like this. I don't know. Let me know. Alrighty, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey, Bun Bun. Is there in your food bowl? I'll fill her back up. I know. How's the Bun Bun? How's my girl? You waiting for the food? Bear's kind of being piggy tonight. Alright, there's your bonbon for the night.